Well, hello and welcome to Old People This Week. My name is Jeff, and that burly Bronco Buster from Bozeman, Montana, that's Mike. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone.
As all of you know, Old People This Week is for mentally agile 60-year-olds and over. And by the way, I think we're the only podcast for people who are 60 and over. I've scoured around on YouTube. I haven't seen anything like it or heard anything like it. So
Yeah,
recommend us to your friends.
if you look under, you just use the words "old people." Everything is young people talking about old people.
Yeah, yeah. There's a cottage industry of making fun of old people,
Yeah.
but there's nothing for us. Every Thursday, we bring you the stories that you need to know going into the weekend, so you'll sound smart when you're on the golf course, or in at the gym playing pinochle, or of course at happy hour, where you'll tend to see Mike and I at the bar.
Shaken and not stirred.
I just watched a James Bond movie last night called what was it called? Spectre,
Oh yeah,
and it wasn't very good, unfortunately. Yeah, I love Skyfall, but this one did not rise to that level,
yeah,
so I didn't like it.
yeah.
Please subscribe. As you know, if you subscribe, Mike and I will invite you to happy hour, where you get to have one free well drink and a appetizer, as long as it's shrimp, because Mike and I love shrimp. You can also find us on Spotify, on Apple, and check out our Substack, which is 52tasks.substack.com. This past week we talked about the death of my friend Ray DiDonato, and this week we talk about the expectations we have for ourselves and others. For example, I expect Mike to be loquacious and smart every Thursday. Most of the time that happens.
Which I have to study hard to achieve.
Yeah. I do look up to Mike, though. He always wears a golf shirt to do the podcast, and so I don't own any golf shirts, so I decided to buy one. I went to Target, paid $23 plus tax for this beautiful golf shirt. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about was, I don't know if you saw it, but this past weekend was the annual spelling bee.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's not,
yeah. It was the national finals, right?
yeah, and it's not a spelling bee, by the way, for adults. It's a spelling bee for kids.
Kids.
And of course, they are incredibly smart. And a matter of fact, if it's a good thing there's no adults in there, because they would just kick our ass.
Yeah.
But the two words that both of the finalists missed the last two words, and it put them into a sudden death final, which they had to really quickly, within a short space of time, spell 25 words, and the winner would be the person who spelled the most words in that amount of time. But I'm going to give you the two words, Mike, that they misspelled, and see if you can spell them.
Oh, thanks.
First word was, I'm going to get it right here, desmotrope. Desmotrope, which is a chemical element. Can you spell desmotrope?
DESMATROPE.
Wrong. You're right, except for it's
Oh,
DESMOTROP.
okay.
All right, and the second word, but don't feel bad. These kids who are much younger and more mentally agile than us missed it too. Second word was Canaan, which is a type of boiled rice popular in the Philippines. Canaan. Smell Canaan.
CANAAN.
It's simply Kanin. The Canaan that you spelled, by the way, is from the Bible or something. It's a biblical place, not
Yeah.
a boiled rice.
Well, that's fitting because I just went to spelling hell. So,
When we next time you and I travel to Manila, we'll order some Canaan at the restaurant there. Let's go move on real quickly here too. You sent me a picture of you shopping for turkey testicles. What the hell was that all about?
no. I was shopping, but I ran across those in in a Korean market. I was getting some kimchi, but I couldn't resist the photograph.
Yeah.
I had to send that to you. And I've
So
never heard of it. I've
no,
never heard of it.
I've heard of Rocky Mountain oysters and other,
Yeah, which are delicious, by the way.
yeah, other poor beasts giving up their testicles so humans can enjoy appetizers, but turkey testicles?
Yeah, I mean, how big a microscope and a pair of tweezers would you need to find turkey or chicken testicles?
I don't
It
know.
just, I was laughing all the way out of the store.
You can ask my doctor; he'll tell you.
Yeah.
So, and also, today is, or this weekend is prom season, which prompted me to think about the prom that I went to back in way in the prehistoric times of what year was it? 1971. I went to the prom with this
In
poor
Ohio?
girl.
Was it in Ohio?
Yeah, up in Ohio, in Ashtabula, Ohio, up near Cleveland.
Yeah.
I went with this poor girl named Sandy. The reason I say poor girl is because it was a situation in which just before the week of the prom, I get called into an office of the home ec teacher, whose name was Miss Benedict, Nancy Benedict. Nancy Benedict called me and about 5 other boys in there and just said, "Here's the girls that you're going to ask to the prom."
Oh, oh, really?
Because evidently there were some girls who didn't get asked, and then we were recruited to ask them. Was too shy and stupid to know how to ask a girl to a prom, but so I was given the name of Sandy, and I went to Sandy, and Sandy was delighted to go with me, and we went. I'm going to try to find a picture and put it here, and you can see the brown tux I had.
Oh, no. You look just like the Bill Hillies.
Bill Hillies from Kentucky. That was exactly what I looked like. And who gets a brown tux? And my poor, pathetic-looking hair. And Sandy had her hair piled up on top of her head, probably
Well,
embarrassed as hell.
the bigger question is, how did the home ec teacher know to reach out to you specifically?
It was me and about 5 or 6 other guys. It was a small school. There was 100 kids in our class, about 50 boys, and so the ones that weren't going to be going to the prom were pretty much well known.
Oh,
The losers at the very bottom of the social strata of St. John High School in Ashtabula, Ohio. That's who weren't going, and so Nancy Benedict, rustled us up some dates.
you're the 5 boys who weren't wearing leather jackets.
Oh, I actually had I had a letterman's jacket. I lettered in a couple of sports, cross country, and barely made that, by the way. Geez, it was pathetic life back then. All right, our first article I wanted to bring up because in honor of you, do you know who JB Mauney is? Is that the right way to pronounce it?
Yeah, JB Mauney.
Mauney.
Yeah, multiple world champion bull rider, professional rodeo circuit. Yeah.
Well, most of our audience would not know that name, especially if they've never been to a rodeo. And by the way, I don't know anybody except you who's ever been to a rodeo.
You need to get out more.
Hang on a second. I got to wait for my...
A weed whacker. I expect a tree to come crashing through your studio at any minute. Sounds like a chainsaw.
He's got the blower he has is gigantic. He holds it like this. He can't even control it. All right. Anyway, J.P. Mauney is arguably the greatest rodeo bull rider who ever lived, wrote Sally Jenkins in a profile for the Washington Post. I didn't think anybody at the Washington Post knew that there was any rodeo going on anywhere.
Yeah.
So Mauney now is in what he calls a forced retirement after, get this, a bull by the name of Arctic Assassin broke his neck in September. And his quote was, "I always knew something like this was going to happen." Yeah, of course you knew it was going to happen. If you ride bulls at all, or ones that are named Arctic Assassin, You're going to get your neck broke.
Chances are really good. You're going to come out second in that contest.
Well, to put him in the status, though, his nickname is Dragon Slayer because of his propensity to choose the biggest, baddest bulls to ride. He has a record-tying 32 victories on the professional bull riders circuit, and is in quotes, the first man to get legit rich at bull riding, with a career earnings of north of $7 million.
Yeah.
However, at this point, he has so much metal in him from being torn up by the bulls that if you gave him a full body X-ray, his bones would look like silverware.
Yeah. He can't fly anymore anywhere. He has to drive everywhere because he can't get through an airport screening.
Yeah. He lives in Stephenville, Texas, so he says to his wife, let's go to New York City, get in the car. Be there in 4 days.
Pack some snacks, honey.
Did you ever ride bulls or just Broncos?
No, I never rode anything. I never rode Broncos or bulls. I did have to get on a bull 1 year because that particular year, the Professional Rodeo Association required that in order to qualify for an all-around championship at a rodeo, you had to compete in both the timed events and the rough stock events. The timed events being calf roping, steer roping, bulldogging, and the rough stock events being bull riding, saddle bronc riding, and bareback riding. So I did it one time. The bull hit me in the side of my head with his horn, knocked me unconscious. They had to pull me off of the bull. It was terrible.
Which do you think is worse, riding a bucking bronco or riding a pissed off bull?
Well, either one can kill you, but the bull's quicker and much more dangerous. So, yeah, the bull is by far the worst.
How do they get them so pissed off and so they're bucking all over the place?
Well, they're bred for that now.
There
are deliberate breeding programs to breed these bulls and continue their lineage, and there's a whole investment portfolio for people who buy into these breeding programs, and then they share in the winnings of the bull and that kind of thing. So
they're breeding animals to be mean.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what happened with the Governor Noam up there in South Dakota. He got bred to be mean, kill puppies. So, at any rate, he finally, Mr. Mauney finally called it quits, but only because he said because of his wife Samantha and their 5-year-old son Jagger. He goes, if it wasn't for her and that little boy, I would have never stopped.
No, he'd have wound up a paraplegic.
Well, he damn near already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible, though. So I'm going to keep my eye on this guy. If I ever see run across professional bull riding on TV, I'm going to watch it and see what the hell that's all about.
No, you should. Professional rodeo's turned into a big money sport now. I mean, it used to be just pathetic, little local jackpots and things like that. But it's, fully TV sponsored now. Major corporations are behind it. These guys are all signing endorsement contracts, and it's a big money venue now. So yeah, go catch one. They're good.
I wanted to tell you, I know you and Mary, like Valerie and I, we look for things on TV to watch, new series, new. Oh, by the way, Rick, our mutual friend Rick, I saw him, and he was very strongly recommended that I watch a documentary called Crazy Love. And he wouldn't tell me what it's about. He said, don't read the description, just go to it and press start.
Oh, good.
But he said you watched it.
I did?
Yeah, he said that you and Mary watched it after he, pushed you to watch it. Crazy Love, does that ring a bell to you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Well, I'm going to watch it. I'll see what it's about, and I'll let you know if it's any good or not.
Okay.
But Valerie and I, we stumbled across a series. I think it's on Netflix called Bodkins. Oh, here I am.
Yeah, tell me about that.
There he is.
Does he wave at you when he goes by the window?
Who's going to get the single finger salute here in a minute?
Sounds like he's coming into the studio.
I don't even know what he's doing. There's nothing over there.
I was going to say, wait, you don't have any trees. What's he blowing? You don't have a lawn or trees.
No,
So,
he's blowing the dirt off the stones. Anyway, so we watched. We found a series. It was called Bodkins. It was on Netflix, and I think you'd like it. It's basically a series about a group of podcasters who go to Ireland to solve a murder mystery. Valerie and I watched a movie with Brooke Shields called Mother of the Bride. It was so bad that it was good. It was one of those.
Mary's bugging me to watch it, so I'll relay your review.
Well, you don't have to go by my reviews. Just Google it, and you'll see the reviews. Rotten Tomatoes, anything that it's very formulaic, and Benjamin Bratt, and who knows who else is in this thing. The girl from iCarly from years ago, those teen movies, teen things from Disney Channel. It's just really by the book. You could sit there and as the show's going on, I'm telling Valerie, well, next she's going to do this, next she's going to do that. It was really easy. But Brooke Shields got a lot of charm, and it's light, and it's an hour and a half of okay.
Yeah.
The one we didn't like was there's a series called Palm Royale with Kristen Wiig that we've started to watch, got 2 episodes in and couldn't take it anymore.
Really, was it bad?
It's hard to get to like Kristen Wiig, who it starts off as being she's very aspirational, that she wants to become part of the society in Palm Beach, and she's going to do anything to work her way in and stuff. But the way she works her way in is basically stealing jewelry from a coma-bound Carol Burnett, who spent the first 2 episodes completely bedridden and without making a move or talking. So you hire Carol Burnett and you don't do anything with her other than prop her up in a bed. And she's not likable in the sense that I'm not rooting for her to become part of because the society that she wants to get involved with is so phony, and she's so phony to try to get into it, and we just lost interest in it.
That sounds like weird casting. I mean, Kristen Wiig's funny as hell.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a really weird bit of casting for her.
You have the feeling that she came up with this. And of all you talk about obscure casting, playing a sort of a bartender at the pool of this Palm Beach club is the singer Ricky Martin. It's just overall weird.
Well, that might be about where his career is now anyway. So
yeah, it's very odd. We also wanted to talk about speaking of celebrities who are having some difficulties, J-Lo.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've been reading about this J-Lo saga, but she was in talks a few months ago to sign a deal to do a $90 million Las Vegas residency. And she was about to release an album, and she was about to start on a tour. Everything was going perfectly. But guess what happened? Tour sales were so poor, and the record album sales were so poor that it scared off the people at the casino, and now they don't know if they're going to sign her to this residency. It's certainly, $90 million for 90 days, so she was going to be paid $1 million a night, and they're scared off. And then there's been rumors that her marriage to Mr. Affleck is in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the whole J-Lo thing, I think the whole tits and ass routine has kind of run its course. There's so much better, more powerful entertainment out there these days. I'm going to go back and watch a 50-year-old Jennifer Lopez parade around that has absolutely no appeal.
I'll tell you, though, I was at an event, this is in the early 2000s, so it's 25 years ago, not 25 years ago, let's say 20 years ago. And it was a big media event. It was held in a soundstage at one of the studios, and it was in honor of Tom Cruise. And so every star in Hollywood turned out, and somehow
Yeah.
I was there representing, not as a, I wasn't there for myself or hadn't paid to get in, but it was there part of a company that got a table or something. And of all the women who swept in that night wearing the most expensive gowns and done up to the nines, when J-Lo walked in there, the place stopped. And everybody, men and women, stopped and stared at her. She had an incredible magnetism and beauty, and it was just something else. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that she sort of has jumped the shark. And
Yeah, I mean, she's a stunningly beautiful woman. There's no doubt about that. But it's just kind of come and gone. I mean, in an era of Taylor Swift and all the other hot young talent out there, it's like Madonna's recent tour.
oh,
I mean, just please, go away, enjoy your retirement, and but
Madonna looks horrible, by the way. She's whoever is doing that plastic surgery went a little crazy. And the other one, by the way, that I saw that made me chuckle a little bit was Deborah Harry's performance last year at Stagecoach.
yeah,
Oh, not Stagecoach. It was at Coachella, but she was trying
yeah.
to, she was doing her old music and trying to dance, and it was like, oh man.
It's like the Beach Boys this year at
Oh,
Coachella.
right, right. That was odd, by the way. That was they struggled through that set.
Oh God, it was terrible.
But if J-Lo at least got a chance, she might get her residency, even though it probably won't be for $1 million a night. But ladies and gentlemen, this week's Nutcase Celebrity of the Week, without question, goes to Richard Dreyfuss. Now, you know who Richard Dreyfuss is, don't you, Mike?
Well, yeah, every time I think of his name, I think of sharks.
Yeah.
But
Right. He was the star of Jaws. He was in
yeah,
Close Encounters. He was in a movie called Nuts with Barbara Streisand, and he has truly come to live
no,
that title himself. So basically, he was hired to show up and do a Q&A either after or before a screening of the movie Jaws in a city called Beverly, Massachusetts, at a sort of a local theater, Cabot Theater. So you paid your money, you were going to go, you're going to be able to watch the movie Jaws, and hey, look at, honey, look who's coming
yeah,
out. It's Richard Dreyfuss himself. He's going to talk about anecdotes about being on the set, about Spielberg, about, the whole cast, and it was going to be a wonderful evening. Except that Richard Dreyfuss came out walking onto the stage for his Q&A wearing a floral print dress, shaking his hips in a mocking way. At one point, he slowly makes his way to his seat, assisted by a cane, and he wields a cane like a baseball bat towards the crowd. But what really got everybody pissed off was that he delivered a rant that was described by attendees as transphobic, sexist, and homophobic. And you know what that means, that he just went nuts.
yeah. He's embodying his movie titles: A Close Encounter with a Nut Job.
It was disgusting, posted one attendee on the Facebook page of the Cabot Theater. How could the Cabot not have vetted this act better? Apparently, he has a reputation for spewing out this kind of racist, homophobic, misogynistic bull crap. That's the way that this person described it. So the Cabot Theater issued an apology, but they did not issue any refunds.
Oh, good. Well, I wonder who was backstage who let him on stage wearing a floral print dress and wielding a cane.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Jesus, people, pay attention.
there's video of him now buying the dress. So he went in and tried a bunch of dresses on and get this, it was at a shop that caters to LGBTQ customers. So he's out of his mind, and
Yeah.
he will never get hired to do anything again, unless it's by someone who wants to hear a homophobic, you know.
Yeah. And he doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Oh boy! But it killed me that the what got me was that the theater would apologize, but they said we're not releasing it. We're not giving you any refunds.
Yeah, we're keeping the money.
Keeping the money. You sat through that. Too bad for you. All right. And as always, we want to talk about the follies of the younger generations because they make us laugh because we're smart and our age we know everything, and young people are just floundering around trying to figure out what to do with their lives. But I came across a story about a thing called snooze, SNUS. I think it's pronounced snooze.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Well, it refers to two different products, tobacco sort of products. One is a form of smokeless tobacco popular in Nordic countries that involves placing some of the substance or a dissolvable paper pouch in the mouth. They are nicotine pouches, which are used in the same way, the other type of product, but they contain no tobacco. Though different, they are all referred to as snooze by users. Basically, the bottom line is the two products are, one is really a tobacco product and one is a tobacco-like product like vapes are. And they come in a form of patches, the little patches or little pouches that you stick between your cheek and gum. I remember cowboys like you, by the way, you stick a little stick it between the cheek and gum and
A little can of Copenhagen, a dip. Used to be called a
a
dip.
dip. Yeah,
Yeah.
baseball players.
Back in your lip, and then 20 years later, you die of oral cancer. Yeah. Very romantic.
Baseball fans nowadays, young fans, would be shocked to see when I was little and went to the professional baseball game, the Cleveland Indians in Cleveland, Ohio. There'd be guys sitting on the bench smoking cigarettes between innings, and they all used chaw. They all had a plug going on.
Horrible. Horrible.
This son who likes to vape. He's 17 years old, and he told his mom about this product. So she said, "Well, you know what? Let's all try it with you."
Ugh.
So the mom said, I took a nicotine pouch, otherwise known as the snoo, from a small tin. And she read that you put it on your gums, under your lip, apparently. And so she and her son did it at the same time. And here's the description. Within seconds, James went white as a sheet and had to sit down. Head bowed, he soon locked himself in the bathroom, convinced he needed to vomit.
Oh, wonderful.
And then she said, a few minutes later, I was the same, dizzy and nauseous.
Oh, good. A shared family experience.
We should try it on air.
Yeah, let's not.
Get all sheet white and flip out people. Maybe we'll get more subscribers that way.
Your garden will have to come in with a leaf blower and resuscitate you.
Oh my God. I don't want him anywhere near me. I have I have a blower that I bought, from like Lowe's. It's a low key, it's not like this thing that he uses. This thing generates air like an air tunnel, it just blows all over the place. But I got the small one. The best thing about the small one is I can chase the dog around with it. He doesn't like it. So when I blow it, he starts running away and I chase him around with it. That's my new life.
You and Christy know him.
I don't know. I'm not gonna. That's as far as I go, is to blow air at him. So I have two good odd stories of the week because we need those. A couple has sued an airline over a farting dog that they claim ruined their long-haul flight due to its prolific flatulence.
Well, that'll do it.
Huh?
That'll do it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a dog, by the way. It could just be some human next to you. Bad flatulence. Gill and Warren Press are demanding a refund after their 13-hour flight
Oh my God.
was blighted by a parching poop, as they put it. Singapore Airlines is now facing off with the couple who claimed the dog was farting liberally. The Singapore Airlines spokesperson said it endeavors to notify customers who may be sitting next to an assistance dog prior to boarding the flight. So this was not only was an assistance dog, this was a flatulent assistance dog.
Oh, wonderful.
I wonder if they complained to the owner of the person who brought the assistant dog on there.
Well, what was the owner thinking?
Man, I tell you, that's why I don't like it. If I'm on an airplane and I see somebody sit down next to me with a dog thing, I'm already,
Yeah, a dog or a baby.
yeah. Baby, at least I've been through there. I had kids and I know what it's like to try to control little kids on the airplane.
Yeah.
So I used to say to my wife, give them some Benzedrine and wake them up when they get we get home. So that happened. I was on a flight in which a guy got obstreperous and had to be arrested.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that on a couple of flights when back in the day when I was logging 1,000,000 miles a year. There were some strange things I saw happen on airplanes, but never a flatulent dog.
Please lock them up in the toilet.
Yeah, put them in the cargo hold.
And of course, the day wouldn't be complete without a Florida story. We have to have one every week. Otherwise, why are we here?
We've got to keep Ron DeSantis in business.
Ron DeSantis has his hands full because every week we're doing stories. By the way, I'm not selecting these stories randomly. I mean, I don't have to dig for them. There are hundreds of them.
Yeah, the challenge is to pick the best one.
Yeah, they're all insane down in Florida. I haven't been to Florida in a long time. I don't know if I'd ever go back down there. 2 people in Florida were arrested after one of them made a 911 call to get help with moving their belongings from a home that they were burglarizing. So these 2 thieves are stripping down a house, and they decided they needed help to move some of the loot, so they called 911. So deputies went to the home after a 911 call was made, but nobody spoke. So they made the 911 call by just dialing 911 and then waiting, like, okay.
Putting the phone down.
Right. They get to the house. The sheriff's deputies get to the house. It doesn't look like anybody's in there.
Yeah.
But they hear some noises inside, and they found an unlocked door, and they made their way inside. They found a female suspect inside, and they confronted her about the 911 call, and she said she had called 911 for the purpose of having law enforcement help them move their belongings from the house they were burglarizing. And then, to get this gall, they also wanted to get a ride to the airport so they could spend the weekend in New York, the sheriff's office said.
After on the proceeds of selling the stolen goods.
So you know what happened here. The cops arrested him for grand theft.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that's all for today. I feel bad for J-Lo. Feel bad for, well, I don't feel bad for Richard Dreyfuss. I feel bad for the people who were there. I feel bad for our rodeo rider, JB Mauney, who's got so many, much tin in him that he can't go through airport security. And I feel bad for Ben Affleck, who's going to have another marriage gone.
Yeah. Another Rolls Royce he'll get back.
I feel bad for somebody who's at home trying to fix turkey testicles right now.
I can't imagine.
Honey, fry me up some turkey testicles for dinner, please.
Get the Betty Crocker recipe book out. Let's see what we can find.
I honestly didn't know there were male and female turkeys until you sent me that thing. I just thought they were all turkeys.
Tell?
How do they have sex, by the way?
I guess baby turkeys are made some way, but...
And lastly, I feel bad for Sandy, I won't say her last name, who was forced to go to the prom with me in 1971 and who had the good grace not to shame me about it later on. She took it in good stride. Didn't kiss me, though, at the end of the night, by the way.
Well, that was a bust.
I didn't get slapped either. All right, everybody, please subscribe. As we've said, if you subscribe and you're in our neighborhood, we bring you to happy hour, where Mike will buy you a free well drink and get you a appetizer order of shrimp that you have to share with us, but we will pay. And you can find us now on Spotify and Apple, as well as here on YouTube. Send us an email to oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. We are anxiously awaiting your questions and comments, and Mike will tell you everything you need to know about bull riding and turkey testicles in that order.
Yeah. With short conversation.
Yeah, short conversations. Check out our Substack, 52tasks.substack.com. As I said last week, I talked about the death of one of my friends and what that meant to me. And this week we're going to talk about the expectations we have for ourselves and others. Like I expect Mike to buy me a drink, and he doesn't often do it. Take care and have a good week. And Mike, we'll see you this Sunday.
See you this Sunday at the bar. Adios.
Okay, I want to tell you, I got this crazy catalog in the mail from Marcello. And guess who it's made out to?
Me.
You.
Me.
Because you probably purchased something like
Never. Never. That's the most shoppy. That's like every gigolo in Miami shops that catalog.
You'll never find another love like mine.
No, don't
No,
sing.
look.
Don't sing.
Now on the back of it, you can see they have these hand-painted shirts, and that middle one there is like there's cigarette smoke coming up from a ashtray or something.
The pocket, yeah.
And you know
Every
how much?
boy's dream.
Guess how much that shirt is?
I know, probably $250.
Oh, 245.
Great.
How many of these do you have for real at your home? Because you got this is the catalog was made out in your name.
Every boy's dream.
All right, say hi to Mary. We'll see you soon.
Will do. Take care.